Welcome to Tansson TV Plus. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Mom.
Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Yep, thank you for joining with us again.
Yeah, we always love doing this. And Mom, how are you doing today?
I'm doing just dandy. Brandon, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, and I'm excited to get back into our weekly episodes.
I am too, Brandon. I missed doing this last week.
Absolutely. And Mom, what are we speaking about here today? And I hope that you're doing well.
I'm doing fine, Brandon. We're going to talk about Mike and Molly.
Yes, I'm very excited to get into it, and we're speaking about the pilot episode.
Yes, we are. Where Mike and Molly first meet together.
Well, Mom, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome, Brand.
And overall, had you seen this episode before? What were your thoughts about it?
Well, actually, Brandon, to the best of my knowledge, I had not seen this episode before. One of the reasons that I selected this show was because I do occasionally watch Mike and Molly in the middle of the night or whenever it comes on, and I've just seen sporadic episodes. Sometimes I'll see five in a row, and then other times it'll be here and there that I watch some episodes. And so I just realized that I'd never seen the pilot, and I kind of wanted to see what went on because on this channel, one of the things that we do is we look at the pilot episodes of some of our shows, and so I kind of wanted to see what the pilot was about. How did they introduce just the characters themselves? And so that's kind of why I selected Mike and Molly for this week.
Yeah, and to the best of my knowledge, I had not seen this pilot episode either. And so a couple years ago, I believe we did watch a few episodes of Mike and Molly to include the series finale. But we haven't really intentionally set out to watch the show outside of those few episodes.
No, you're correct. We have not intentionally we have not purposely gone out to see the show. It just happens to be on in the middle of the night a lot. And so if I can't sleep, I sleep with the TV on and I just watch an episode or two.
And how overall would you say that this first episode was? I know a lot of times we speak about initiating events, and I certainly believe this one has one.
Yeah, I really like this episode, Brandon. Sometimes pilot episodes don't always keep up with the same dynamic as the series itself. And so in this case, to me, I thought the dynamic was there from the beginning and it made me giggle. And so I really liked it.
Yeah, I definitely did too. And yeah, I thought it was a really well done episode. We have a nice mixture of being able to introduce ourselves to both of the primary characters, Mike and Molly. And we get a nice little bit of physical comedy in there, which I quite enjoy, and get to know about the world that the series will be existing in.
Yeah. And one of the things I did like about this episode is that you were actually able to learn certain things about certain characters. Like we do learn that Mike is a police officer. We learn about Molly being a teacher. We even learn why Mike wanted to be a police officer. We learn a little about his family at the same time. We meet Molly's family. It's not often that a series is able to do all of that in one episode. We learn about Mike's good friend Carl, and they're partners right now in regards to being police officers together. We know that a lot of the scenes kind of takes place in the police car while they're kind of driving, and then we know that Mike and Molly are both trying to lose weight, and we learn that Molly lives with her mom and her sister, and that and then Mike and Carl actually hang out. Carl being his friend, they hang out in the same restaurant on a regular basis. Where we meet a character named Samuel who is the waiter and always has something smart to say. So I mean, I think after watching the few episodes that I've seen, that they did a nice job establishing all of this in the first episode.
Yeah, they really did. And I like too that it didn't feel like we were thrown a whole bunch of stuff. That it felt natural in the way that they did it.
Yeah, it felt very, very natural.
And Mom, before we head into our connections, was there anything else you want to mention about the episode itself or the series?
No, like I said, I just thought they did a really nice job of bringing everything together. The question of will I continue watching? Yes, I will. I as I mentioned, I watch it periodically, and so when I'm in the mood to watch it, I will watch additional episodes. What about you, Brian?
Oh yeah, I definitely would watch more episodes. And yeah, I really enjoyed the dynamic of this first episode, and I'd like to see how things continue to grow for the series. And so, as I mentioned earlier on, we had seen the series finale and some of the final episodes leading up to it. But we hadn't seen the beginning of the series, or the middle for that matter. Or so I'd like to see sort of how we got to that point, and especially the relationship as they go from having just met in that pilot to where they are at the end of the series.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to do that too. So I do anticipate actually watching some more from the beginning and seeing kind of where it kind of heads to.
Yeah, I definitely would. And Mom, are you ready for the connections?
Sure. What are the connections, Brandon?
Yeah, so we have quite a few. And so the first one is with the executive producer and the production company, that being Chuck Lorre and Chuck Lorre Productions, respectively. And Mom, do you remember what they produce?
No, let us know, Brandon.
So they produce Young Sheldon that we spoke about, alongside Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage.
All right. Sounds great. Sounds great. And do we have any other connections, Brand?
Yes, we do.
Oh, what is that?
Yeah, and so one of them is with the director James Burrows, and so he directed quite a few things over the years, but the one that we're speaking about here is with the first episode of the new Frasier, and yeah, he's directed quite a quite a bit, and we have more than that too.
Oh, yeah. What else do we have?
Yeah, so for Molly's mom, we have another connection with that. Mom, are you able? Do you remember what that connection's with?
Oh, I know it's Susie Kurtz, and I know she played on the show with Mayim Bialik.
Yeah, so she played on Call Me Cat that we spoke about. I believe the series finale that we discussed.
Yes, yes. And I've always liked Susie Kurtz. She has played on quite a few things.
Yeah, I definitely, let's say, enjoyed her in this first episode and on Call Me Cat. And we also have another connection with Samuel, the waiter.
All right, tell the audience who Samuel the waiter is.
Yeah, so he plays on Night Court, the new one.
Oh, yes, he does. He does. There are a lot of connections here, Brandon.
Yeah, we definitely had quite a few, and so yeah, it's nice being able to see all these connections as they begin to add up.
Yes, yes. And can we talk about the TV theme song for just a moment?
Go right ahead.
Um, this is it's a first for me. The part of the theme song that stands out is where you hear the words "I see love." That stands out. This is a first in the sense that the theme song for me is not as memorable. When I hear it, I do know it's Michael Molly. However, it's not one that comes to me when I think of Michael Molly. I don't think of a theme song. It just happens to be on, and I hear it that I know the theme song, but it is not one that stands out. So I'm sorry to say that, Michael Molly, for a show that's really, really good, that the theme song doesn't stand out as much as the other aspects of the show.
But I will say that for me, I personally enjoy the theme song and the instrumental theme, and I think of the longer version they used in later seasons, and not necessarily the shorter version that's more like a over. Yeah, when I think about the theme song for this, I think about the one they use in the later seasons, and not necessarily the sort of glorified title card that they had at the beginning of the series.
Yeah, yes. And I will say, just to rate this show, as I said, I've been doing some ratings for these shows, 1 to 5, 5 being the highest. I would give this one a 4 plus, meaning like a B plus, 4 plus, because it is funny. I do like it, so I would give it a 4 plus. How about you, Bran?
Well, first of all, I think we're just making up ratings now, but yes, I agree.
Yes. All right. Maybe I'll think of a new rating system. We'll see. But for right now, 4 plus. All right, Brandon. Anything else you'd like to say about the series?
No, I mean, I really enjoyed this first episode. I'm so glad it had an initiating event to start off with, and I think it was a very strong opening. And I will say that while we're just getting into some of these series created or produced by Chuck Lorre, I will say I'm actually quite enjoying them. I mean, this to me provides the same types of laughs that we're seeing now in like young Sheldon and Georgie and Mandy's first marriage.
Yep, same here, Brandon. Same here. Well, I think we thank everybody for watching today.
Yes, we definitely do.
All right, have a great day, everybody.
We'll see you next time.
Bye bye.
Right.